Hello, my name is Christie Roberts, and I'm the Associate Registrar at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. I'll be talking to you today about monitoring registration through Ad Astra's Monitor. So first, we're going to give a little bit of welcome and introduction, a little bit to know about myself and my institution. We're going to go over an overview of what Monitor is and how to monitor your courses and how our institution is doing that so that we're able to make these data-driven decisions. And then some takeaway and action items that we hope that you will take back to your campuses and make actionable change. And then hopefully, if you have any questions, you'll be feel free to reach out to me either on the Ad Astra community or via email. And then we'll talk about how to participate in the Q&A discussion. So a little bit about background about Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. We are the area's premier institution of higher learning. We have a student population about 11,500. We are part of the Texas A&M system. However, we are Islanders. We are not Aggies. So we have our own identity. And we offer about more than 250 days of sunshine and Gulf breeze, which has been great, except for our massive hurricane activity that has been occurring this year, but it's 2020, so I wouldn't expect anything less. But typically we do have mild weather year round. You can catch us at the beaches and around the pool, and it's great. These are pictures of our campus from the bay. We are actually on our very own island. So we are the only institution in the United States, that includes Hawaii, where the entire island is the university. So as you can imagine, that we have to make sure that we are utilizing our buildings and our space effectively and efficiently, which is why we are such a fan of Ad Astra. We have been an Ad Astra client for 12 plus years. We use Schedule heavily. I have been using the optimizer since our office took over about 8 years ago. And we currently are using Align and Monitor. We have been Platinum Analytic clients for 5 years, and so we just love Ad Astra. We are happy to partner with them because we don't believe it is we pay them money, they help us. Yes, we do pay them money, but we are partners, and that's why it's important that we're able to come to them and say, look, these are our issues, and this is what we want, and how can your products help us? So these are the 3 products that we use, and today we're going to deal specifically with Monitor. So a little bit about myself. I get to be the associate registrar here at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. I've been here for about 10 years. I've been on the client advisory board since 2018, and I was lucky enough to be chosen to be the CAB president in 2020. It's been a crazy year. But as far as what I do at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, my job duty that keeps me the most busy and the most fun is, of course, the campus lead for course scheduling. So when we talk about end-to-end scheduling, that is, unfortunately, we're still at the point where we're rolling our schedule, but we're getting a little bit better at that. So when we roll our schedule, the departments work on it. We provide training to them. We do troubleshooting, and then we optimize the courses in Ad Astra's optimizer. So we do that, and then we also use it to schedule our ad hoc events as well. So anything that is offered in a classroom or computer lab, our office makes sure that we schedule those and maintain those. I also oversee the day-to-day operations in the registrar's office, as well as athletic and academic certifications. So I work with the National Student Clearinghouse as well as our athletic office. Just recently, in the past year or two, I have been given the opportunity to manage our degree work scribe team. So we have a huge and mighty team of 2 that are managing that. And, our office is in charge of degree plans. And so over the past 2 years, we've really worked hard at getting our student education planner, which has really helped in getting that data for those data-driven decisions for Platinum and Align. And we're seeing some big wins out of that that are coming this year. And so as mentioned before, I also manage our National Student Clearinghouse team. And while that is what keeps me busy 8 to 5, all the other times I get to be a mom and a wife and the leading lady of my house. I have 2 adorable little boys, 8 and 5. As you can see in the picture, my husband does work at A&M Corpus Christi. We met there. He works in IT. And so A&M Corpus means a lot to us. And I'm just lucky that I get to be a part of it. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started, I just wanted to add this in, screenshot this, and then you can go yell bingo on the community board. as we go through this COVID time, I promise I haven't memorized these, but these words keep popping up, you know, here and there. So what I want you to do is kind of screenshot this and keep it, and then listen throughout the presentation and mark it down. If you do get a bingo, go on the community boards, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and how to get there, and yell bingo really loud, and we can laugh about how we constantly have these new COVID words added to our lingo daily. So what is Monitor? So Monitor allows us, it's an easy to use app module that is in Ad Astra, that we are able to track live registration courses, and leading up to registration, leading up to when school first starts. So we discovered that many people across campus were doing this on a very manual level, especially our advising team. They were monitoring these, our department chairs, and calling them, saying, hey, you need to add a course. And in my head, I'm viewed it as, the Wall Street guys, where they're on the phones and calling, saying, add another class, and that might be a little dramatic, but I do think it was happening on a very granular level. So when do you want to use Monitor? You want to use it during registration when it's crazy. I can just imagine, our registration begins October 26th of this year, and it starts off calm because we do a rolling registration where seniors and grad students start, then juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So when we get to Friday, that tired day, that's when it gets busy. And so we're having to monitor, and people saying, oh, there's courses that are closed, and we're making phone calls. But now we're able to see this and at a holistic view, and to say, this is how we can view all of the courses. And so this is coming from our office, of course, but departments can use this to drill down and really just see their courses. Our provost is using this to view these closed courses. We used it during we call it Islander Launch, which is our orientation last year, when students were saying, I can't get into these classes. This is what we were able to use to show them, and we were able to get the data to her quickly. So, and how to monitor you, and this is a play on like the what, when, how, right? So this is a very easy to interface, which allows amazingly quick implementation and training for the campus community. I first remember going and talking to the department chairs about Monitor and what it could do for our campus, and they're not an easy group to impress, but when I got there, I told them about it, and the first thing this tough, hard-nosed faculty member raises their hand, and in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what are they going to tell me? And he goes, Christy, this is the tool that I've been needing to make my life complete. And people started shaking their heads like, this seems easy. And then when they got back to their offices, they were using it. And so it's so easy to implement. It's so easy to get that buy-in and get those quick wins for your campus. So what is Monitor, right? So we have that same problem that we come up, just different registration periods. When you're watching your courses, we have we have what we call SAIL, and that is where students register. And so you have your internal cell, which students can see, and then you have your external cell. And we have it built up, and it's a rudimentary coding system where you can easily see the different courses separated by subject, and you're able to go in there and see, okay, oh shoot, a class is closing real quickly, or it's getting to that point, or it's closed. And so you're looking at this, you're looking at different subjects depending on your department, and you're just going around and around in circles. You might even be keeping Excel documents. And so this will help you to allow you to keep track of that in a condensed one module type of format where you're able to track it in real time. And so while we do have our course registration where it is tracking somebody's coming up, but they're having to really go and take that time. So it's like printing the course schedule. So when we used to print it, the next day it would be out of date. And so this allows you to have that already what you were doing in a simplified area. So you're able to even track these courses to get notifications, so you don't have to remember, oh shoot, I need to go make sure accounting 2301 is filling up, like what's going on. You're able to get notifications and set those thresholds so it comes straight to you. So this is a little bit of an example of what we see when we're logging in. And like I said before, this the training that it took to get this in our department chairs' hands and the program coordinators was as little as 20 minutes. And that was my presentation to them. And, you're able to go and put the full term, your full term, the term in there that you're wanting to search for. You're able to see all of your classes. We've also built quick filters for our departments because we look at this as a high level overview, but most of the departments only want to see their key courses. So we build these quick filters for them. They're allowed to see other courses if they want to, and they're able to see it before and during the start of the term. They're also able to follow the courses that are important to them, like I mentioned before, and get notified if the enrollment ratio is filling up. So this allows you to make those key decisions before it's too late, and you're able to help students quicker. So when I've talked a lot about when the course is filling up, but there's also that contrary note of when the course does not fill, and how that when are you going to need to make that key decision to cancel the course. So this allows you to say, okay, maybe this course isn't filling up, so we need to cancel it. So this allows you to cancel a course and maybe reach out to those students who are filling up, so that you can let them know, hey, this course is canceling, but maybe this one. And that's really where we use the other product Align to really get to those students to say, this is what your next course in your pathway is. So why monitor, right? So I've heard this before, biology 4521. Oh, it doesn't fill up right before the first term starts. So it says we have 2 or 3 people in there, but of course there's going to be 15, but does it ever happen? You get so busy, you can't ever go back and figure it out until maybe there's only 2 people that usually sign up. Or you have the opposite effect where kinesiology 3315 always fills up the first day of registration. Well, is this really happening? You're able to go and search like terms to see, when did this fill up the last time we offered it? And do we need to offer more sections from the get-go so students don't fill their schedule with other courses they don't need? Or have you heard, we're already doing that on a manual level. It's COVID. These are unprecedented times. I definitely don't have time to learn a new tool, Christy. So just pivot with that and we'll come back another day. So that's why Monitor was amazing, because departments are already doing this. They're already tracking everything, and this allows them, it frees up extra time, and it lets them dive into those courses to learn more about them and why are they filling up and when are we offering this, and maybe this isn't working how it is. And that's again how we're using Align to figure out, let's see what is predicting of when it happens and what's actually happening with our students. And so we're able to make those data-driven decisions, especially in this climate. We are having to, we're going one way and then you just have to pivot and say, okay, let's forget all that and let's go this way now. We've all done it in our professional lives and our personal lives. So that's why it's important that you're able to find this data quickly and make actionable changes on that. You're also able to manage this at the section level. So you can dive in to see, these sections that maybe are being offered at certain times, are they filling up better than this other section? Or the different modalities, is this online course section filling up a little bit more quickly? And that's something that I'm excited and eager to learn about, is that we didn't have a strong online presence before COVID hit, or before COVID became our reality, I guess I should say. And we were able to offer the more online courses to reach out to those students, so they didn't have to put their education on pause. And so we're going to be able to see this as we go along, like what courses typically fill up first. Is it those online courses, or is it those face-to-face courses? So as mentioned before, I've created these quick filters that have allowed departments to dive straight in. So when they're logging in, I walk them through how to set the term and their filters, and they're able to see this every time they come up. And they're also actually able to share these type of filters with others. So I'm sharing with them. You can see that I have the filters that I've created and those ones that have shared with me. Caleb, our consultant, helped us create these. And so we're able to get these quickly and off the ground. And the reason it might seem like a little thing is just to reiterate how amazing and quick this implementation is, and how it's not just this new program that people are going to say, oh yeah, the provost wants me to learn it, but I'm really learning it now. So the usability is just amazing with Monitor. So when you're looking at these, the first thing, of course, you have to select your term in which the registration is active. So it already has our spring 2021 up there, but it's currently not active. So you're also able to look at all the other terms previously, and you can see for spring 2021 that there's no enrollment ratios going, and then you're using those filters that will stay with you. And if you're using other modules within Ad Astra, these filters are going to translate to a line. So that made my job even easier, which we don't hear a lot lately during these fun times, that that we're able to create this and departments are really able to dive in. And if they only want to see, maybe they want to see only their courses that are hitting that 95% ratio. It doesn't need to be by department. It can be by the different data points in which they're viewing their data. So how to use Monitor, I think I've talked a little bit about how the usability of it. And really what we kept hearing over and over is, how do we export this data? How do we get this information from Monitor and manipulate it and put it with other data points that we're pulling out? So it's easily can be done. And then when you're exporting this, you can export the enrollment ratio, the registration status, the number of seats offered, the current enrollment, and the number of sections offered. So whoever this data is going to, whether it be a presentation, whether it be, this information that's going up to the dean, the provost, the vice president, you're able to get this so they don't have to log in, even though it is easy. Another thing that I really like about this is we're able to set up these notifications, so you're not constantly checking your enrollments within the SIS. And I say this because even though it's easy, I still find myself doing that. And then in the middle of step 14, I'm like, why am I not using Monitor? I can just literally 3 clicks instead of, 50 clicks. And so we're able to get notified. So for this particular course, I wanted to know, notify me when the enrollment ratio is higher than 95%. And so I'm able to get an email about this, and it'll let me know what's going on. And another thing that I really like about this is starting the conversation with others within the system. So I'm sure if you're like me, you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of emails. And I'm hoping that you're not like me, where I have to read them all the time, right? Because I can't have anything on red. And so when I'm reading these, and I'm like, okay, I need to talk to the provost about this, or I need to ask this dean about this. I don't have to keep track of this. I can go within the system and at Dr. Phillips, please look at this. What do you think about could we offer them an adjunct professor, or could we offer this in our mini term? And we're able to do this. And when they're able to jump in, they're not having to pull up an email, open a document, do this, do that. You're able to see the data right there. So decisions can be made swiftly and efficiently, which is what we all need all the time, but especially during COVID-19. So when is this data refreshed? As mentioned before, we've been with Ad Astra for 12 years. And as we've gone through, we've had it where we had our local servers doing getting the data that we needed, which was very, very slow. Then we moved to the cloud. And then when we started reviewing our Platinum Analytics data, we'd have to wait for an analysis to come through, and we'd have to wait for them to pull our data, and the data they were getting, they were getting it, but it took a little bit, right? So this is updating every night during your registration term. We always want fresh data. Every time we talk about this, we present it to somebody. It's, when was this data last updated? So we're able to see when this data was last updated, so that you're able to give it to someone and say, okay, this is as for this particular one, September 28th. And then from there, you're able to drill down to those course level dashboards, as you can see. So here's some more data points that you can use, and your life is just streamlined. Like, who doesn't want their life to be streamlined? As a working mom of a very fun, enthusiastic 8-year-old and 4-year-old, I love anything that can make my life a little easier. So that has helped us. We're no longer making assumptions without backup. So we're not saying, oh, well, I've been here, 12 years, and this has always happened, so we don't need to worry about it right now. We actually can see what happened, and it's not we're able to drill down and say, okay, in spring 2019, this actually didn't fill up till, 4 days, when really you're saying it doesn't happen till the first day. So, and we're also really looking at how we're able to get this information to the administration, so they're making these ideas. just a couple of years ago, we were canceling courses 2 days before school started, and students had made their plans, had made their work schedules, and they're able to do this now because the administration is really pushing for change and helping students get the access they need. And so the provost is monitoring these. They're monitoring course registration, and she's been able to make these decisions where she's called up the deans and says, "It looks like these courses are filling. Do you need me to go get Jimmy to?" Not that we have a bag of money, especially during COVID times, but maybe I can help you get an adjunct, or maybe I can help you get a faculty line. The provost has said, bring this data to us, bring the data that we're getting in the line, and show us and use this for your budget documents. And it helps make departments work collaboratively with each other, makes them say, working with their deans. And so their deans and associate deans and department chairs, we're not living in our own silos, that we're actually working together for the same thing, and helping to make sure we are offering the right courses. We recently did a poll with our students to see if we could boost our second short 7 weeks within our long fall term. And so we're able to poll our students and say, what courses are going to be offered? We compared that with a line. And then we said, okay, we're going to offer, 10 courses. These are what we believe the 10 courses are. And so we opened this registration, we did our advertising, and then we're able to just log on to monitor, and we're able to get those notifications to see if those courses are filling up, or are we going to have to say, okay, maybe it didn't work this semester, but we're able to do that and help another student get into another course, because we're all working collaboratively to make it happen. So some takeaway and action items, I think the biggest one, if you learned nothing and you're like, well, Christy, I'm just not sure if this is for me, is that this is easy to implement. You're able to get those big, easy wins for your department and campus community that will give you that reputable reputation for your campus. I always talk about, I've given presentations about the optimizer, about Ad Astra. And when we took over, Ad Astra was kind of a bad word on our campus, right? People didn't know a lot about it. And once we started explaining to them about the different types of data that can be provided, it really helped us generate that excitement. And so I think this will give you those big, easy wins for your department, campus community, your administration, and you're able to make those data-driven decisions and get that instant collaboration that, whether it be with your strategic scheduling team, if you have one of those, or within your own college department, or with your provost. So if you have any questions or you got a bingo, please look in the comments section related to the session, or you can use the community topic and look for monitoring registration under the Aspire 2020 sessions. I would love to continue this conversation. And if you want to talk one-on-one, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is christie.roberts@tamucc.edu. I always love to meet new colleagues and scheduling nerds, if you will. If you don't think you're a scheduling nerd, but you're in this presentation, you more than likely are, and that's okay. So please feel free to reach out to me, and I will be happy to connect with you. Thank you so much for attending this session, and I hope y'all have a great day. It's a great day to have a great day. Bye-bye.